real steady? Okay. Now, yesterday we talked about gathering data, gathering information, showing that information. Yesterday, how did we show our information? The data. Frequency table. Today, we're going to show data in the form of bar graphs and line graphs. Now, here's a Newsweek magazine. Here's a Newsweek magazine. Ho! Bingo! I see something on that page right there. What do you see? Bar graphs. Horizontal bar graphs. And I see circle graphs, correct? Circle graphs, they're not pies. I don't know what your other teachers called them, but they were wrong. We liken them to a pie, but when you talk about them, they are circle graphs. All right, we'll keep on turning. Oh, look at him, look at him. What we got there?
Bar graph.
Bar graph and a line graph. I see two line graphs and one bar graph. You showing this on the film? All right. Okay. Well, good times last was the time of that one. Oh, look at there. Newsweek magazine.
Hands in the way. There's a line graph.
Had a finger in the way, sorry.
Line graph.
Line graph. Down in the corner. So far, that's several pages, right?
Bar graph and line graph.
Bar graph and line graph. All I'm trying to show you that is in everyday life, outside these walls, information is shown in picture form by frequency tables, bar lines, bar graphs, and line graphs. That's how information is shown. And so we need to understand how to draw them, and we need to understand how to interpret or look at bar graphs and line graphs, because it is data in picture form, and we put it in bar and line graph to make it easy to understand. Okay? So, looking at bar graphs and line graphs. Okay, what's a bar graph? You can make it real simple. What's a bar graph? Bar graph with bars. You're right. But we're going to make it a little bit harder. Graphs that show what?
Bars.
Nope. Data or data, however you want to say it, by bars that compare categories. It's about as simple as I can put it in English words. Categories. As y'all writing that, I'll look one of these up again, one of the bar graphs. All right, in this bar graph here, it's got 3 bars. It's got 3 bars to it. All righty. The title of the graph is GDP growth, and the categories on the bottom are the United States, the European Union, and Japan. Those are being compared in this bar graph. The data for the United States, the European Union, and Japan are being compared. So does everybody understand now the definition of a bar graph? It's data shown by bars that compare categories. Alrighty, so we're going to write over here just a little quick what one looks like. So it's pretty stinking hard. A bar graph. going to put cata right down here. What does cata mean?
Categories.
Categories. And usually this side over here is the
Numbers.
Numbers. All right. So bar graphs. Oh, but what do they like to do to us sometimes?
Them sideways. Trying to jack with our heads.
Yep. Trying to jack with us by turning the bar graph over and have it going horizontal. So over here is the categories, and over here is the numbers. So all they've done is they've taken it and they've turned it over. All right, it's no big deal. Don't freak out if all of a sudden they turn one over and have it going sideways. All right, line graphs. Line graphs. You're going to say graph that uses lines, right?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say graphs that show data by lines that compare categories.
Graphs. I like part of what you said, so we'll use part of it, okay?
Same thing, except it's
No.
lines.
Well,
that's
I
what
like
said.
part. I like part of what you said. Graphs that use dots and lines that show data that changes over time. Okay, looking at that same page that I was showing you out of the Newsweek magazine, I'm looking at a line graph now. This says the workforce. And down here on the bottom is what, Mary?
2005,
2005,
2010,
2010,
2015, 2020.
years, in other words, right? It is a type of time. And the bar, the line is showing how the data is changing as time is going by. Everybody see that? Okay? Let me find another line graph so I can... All right here. Carbon dioxide on the rise. Bottom corner down here. Bottom corner. What does it say down there, girlfriend?
1958, 1970, 1980, 1990.
What are all those? Years. It's over time. How carbon dioxide is changing over time. On this graph, what is carbon dioxide doing over time? Rising. Notice the data, how it changes over time. Line graphs are used to show data changing over time. That time may be hours. That time may be days. For instance, we may want to do a line graph that shows the high temperature for next week. And we can have a line graph ready to go, and then on Sunday, someone comes in, the high yesterday was such and such. We'll put it in. The high on Monday, we'll find out the high and put it on there the next day. And do the whole week, and then we'll connect them, and we'll have a line graph that shows how the temperature changed over the week, which is a form of time. Does everybody understand? Bar graphs compares categories. Line graphs compares data that changes over time. Big difference there. Because I've seen it on the tax test before. Where they have information, blah, 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 in table form, and they give us 4 answer choices: a circle graph, a bar graph, a line graph, and a scatter plot. It all depends on what's here, right? Is it something that's happening over time? Your answer will be which one? The line graph. If it's a bunch of categories, your answer will be bar graph. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? You must know the difference between the two. Bar graph shows categories. Line graph shows data changing over time. Okay? Very big key difference in the two. All right, so now let's talk about the parts of a bar and line graph. And then I have a blank graph here. The first part of a bar and line graph we need to know is the scale. I put it up here, but then we'll come back over here and show where it is, okay? Scale. The scale part. The scale part is the numbers that usually start with 0 and is evenly written to cover all pieces of data. Bottom to top, meaning the bottom number through the top number is what I mean by that. I don't mean bottom to top of the graph. No, I'm talking about bottom number. All right, maybe I need to do that. Put a number sign, number symbol. From bottom number to the top number. So the scale usually goes over here. This is our numbers. The scale is our numbers on the side. That will show how tall the bar is or where the dot goes for the line graph. That's where the numbers are. So guess what the bottom's going to be probably? The interval. The interval is the categories. The interval is the categories or the time. What's the next word? What can I put there? Time what? I'm serious. I don't know what I'm putting there. I don't want to use the word interval again. The time interval, the time.
Measurement.
Hey, thank you very much. Measurement. I like that. Oh, what did y'all say?
Period.
Time period. Time measurement. I like that. I'm going to put measurement or period. The time period. Thank you. I went brain dead. Which happens a lot when you play football without a helmet. All right. So this right here is the interval, which is the cata or time.
Coach Jordan.
Now, I am...
It's on 14 something.
Okay, I guess we'll have to kill it.